Hello guys, Des12530 back again with another video. Today I'm here to talk about the support class in Battlefield 4 and how Operation Suppressing Fire will make you a better support player and what entails in the support class. And before we get into this guys, I just want to talk about some stuff real quick. Specifically, sorry about not uploading as soon as I could. I know I had that update idea, or that update a while back, and I did get ungrounded actually the day after I posted that video, which was really stupid. And the main issue was I wasn't really wanting to record. I didn't want to post videos at the time. Right now, especially because I just got over with all the stress from projects, because this is what I like to call project season. And now because the project season is over, I should be able to put out a lot more videos. So I'm feeling a lot more up to it as well, and I'm getting better gameplay. Other than that, there's not really much to change. I might be posting a Rainbow Six video later today. That all depends though. So yeah, I'll be telling you guys about the sport class in a few seconds, and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay guys, so the support class is the ammo class in the game. Basically, the entire point of this class is to give ammo to your teammates and use your massive LMGs to suppress the enemy or mow down and defend the point. So the main thing you're going to be doing with this is obviously giving out ammo to your teammates. You can do this in a bunch of ways. The main way, obviously, running or just playing the support class as you would with your LMG and then just chucking ammo when you need to. So there's not really a different way of giving ammo. You just give your pack or your crate or your pack to people, and that's about it. It's more or less varied by your play style. And as for the suppressing role, as you'll see me use, I'm using an LMG that's more, and the LMGs I use in this gameplay are more close range / medium range LMGs, so you're not going to get to see the same thing that I'm talking about in this video. But another main thing to do is to just suppress the enemy, use your LMGs, fire at enemies. It doesn't matter if you hit them, if you kill them or not. Just get hits on them and make sure that they're constantly suppressed. Other than that, your last objective will be to defend points and make sure that you're a good spawn point for your teammates whenever your squad wipes. Next, I'll be going over guns, attachments, loadouts, etc. And then at the end, I'll be talking about class setups, strategy, other small setups, and how you work in tandem with your team. Okay guys, so for your primary weapons you have the LMGs, which you can see here, as well as the 3 all-kit weapons, DMRs, carbines, and shotguns. So I'm only going to talk about the LMGs for the moment, and I may talk about other weapon classes later. So for LMGs, their main differentiation in this game is that most of them are similar to assault rifles when it comes to damage. Some deal higher damage, but most LMGs do the same damage as most assault rifles. They fire fairly slowly, most of them, and they have slightly less accuracy. But what they lose in that, they gain in damage over range and mag capacity. So LMGs have a unique mechanic. Not really, I wouldn't say really unique, but they're the best ones for doing this, and that is called suppression. Now, what suppression does is when you fire near somebody, it causes their screen to blur, or in this game as well, it also causes their accuracy to lower. So just not even hitting a target, just hitting near a target will net you a lot of worth, especially to your team. And whenever one of your teammates kills an enemy, that you've been suppressing, you get 25 points for it. So you basically get 1/4 a kill every time you suppress somebody. Okay, so for your... I'm going to talk about the weapons now. And you have 3 types of LMGs in this game, which I like to call medium LMGs, belt-fed LMGs, and assault rifle LMGs. So I'm going to go over the assault rifle LMGs since they are my favorite, and they have some of the best and most versatile qualities in the class. So these weapons consist of the RPK-12, the RPK-74, or the RPK, the L86, A2, the QBB-95, or whatever you want to call it, the drum mag one, the U-100, and the AWS. So all these weapons have in common 2 features, and that is the fact that they have the same damage as an assault rifle and similar drop ranges, fire rate, or accuracy, etc. So they're closer to assault rifles than LMGs. So the main thing you get upgraded from assault rifle LMGs compared to others is that they have a higher base spread. And if you don't know what that means, a lower base spread, which means that the lower your spread, the more likely your bullets are going to hit the center of your reticle. So if you were to use the RPK like I'm using here, your bullets have a higher chance of hitting the right where the iron sights are pointing with this weapon than you would with, let's say, an M249. So that's the main takeaway from them. Their only real downgrade, except for the AWS, which has normal LMG ammo, is the fact that they normally have smaller mags than all other LMGs, but they also have quicker reload, so it kind of balances out. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about the belt feds. Now there are 2 belt fed classes. I like to call them light belt feds and medium belt feds, also known as the medium LMGs. And the light LMGs, which is what I'm going to go over now, consist of the MG4, the M249, the LSAT, the Type 88, and I believe that's it. Yeah, that's it. So what these weapons have in common is that they have the same damage as an assault rifle, but they normally have bigger mags, usually fire pretty fast or have fairly low recoil, and they have very big mags. So the LSAT, which has the lowest mag of all of them, is at 100, which is the same as the AWS, but it has a very low recoil, which balances it out. But the other light belt-fed weapons have 200 round mags, and most of them fire fairly fast. So those weapons are better in a stationary position with like a bipod. So I would recommend for them using them only when you want to defend. The M249 and MG4 can be used running gun, and I've done it. It works. But I wouldn't recommend them over a AR like LMG in those circumstances. So I would recommend using them as more of a defensive weapon than anything else, and they're very good at taking care of multiple enemies at once. So on to the final type of LMG, we have the medium machine guns, or should I just say MMGs at this point. So these weapons deal higher base damage than all other LMGs, and they consist of the M60E4, the M240B, or Bravo, and the PK Pecheneg. So all 3 of these weapons are, I believe, 3 or 4 shot kills depending on when you played the game because of the time to kill changes. But all of them do higher damage than your average weapon, which is what makes them so good. So they have very fast kill times in close quarters, and they do very well at taking on multiple enemies. They have the same mag size as the LSAT. All of them have 100 rounds, and most of them fire fairly slowly. The main balancing factor with them is that unless you're on a bipod, their recoil is very, very high, and most of them shoot very, very slow. The fastest shooting was the M240 Bravo, and it still has some pretty nasty recoil. So the only way you're going to push the range with them is if you're using them either at mid-range with grips and you're really good at controlling recoil, or if you have a bipod. Needless to say, they're very good in close quarters, like very, very close quarters, because their damage is so high. But their hipfire capability is extremely bad, so it's sort of a coin toss on whether you'll kill somebody in close quarters. So, for my best bet is if you're not going to bipod them, I would recommend tap firing with them, like you see me doing with the actual RPK here. And that'll give you the best chance of success without the bipod. But your main use for them will just be to lay down fire with them or to keep in very, very close quarters and hope that your aim is good. They're my least favorite type of LMG because they don't do too much outside of the other LMGs any better, except for they have a slightly faster kill time in close quarters, which can be easily negated with the fact that you're missing bullets. So next I'm going to go on to the 3 classes I've prepared, and I'll talk about them in a second. Okay guys, so I have 3 classes to tell you about, and these are my mobile support class, my defensive support class, and what I like to call my sort of in-between slash support slash designated sniper role. And the designated sniper role sort of can be switched out with a carbine as well, so I'll go over that one first. So the way you run that class is that you run a DMR with a bipod or something, and you run the mortar and your ammo crate, because you always run the ammo crate. And what you do is you sit on top of buildings, you get into like very strategic locations, and you use your high damage and your high range with your infinite ammo to just keep laying down kills left and right from longer distances. And with the carbine, you would just switch over and be a lot closer, be a lot more in the fight. So that's the only real difference between it, is just the play style is a bit weirder, but it's the same sort of thing, just use your ammo to your advantage. Next class will be the mobile gunner. This class, I will recommend one of 3 weapons to you specifically, and that is the LSAT, the RPK-74 or RPK, depending on which patch you're playing in, and the RPK-12. So, I would recommend the AWS here, but unless you have the attachments unlocked for it and you've gone through it, using the gun can be a bit hard, so I'm going to leave it out for right now. But the RPK and the RPK-12 have insanely good recoil patterns, and so does the LSAT, and all of them are fairly good at medium to close range, and they allow you to have a bit more mobility. The LSAT is more of the in-between, so if you don't want to run, like one of the heavier 200 round LMGs or one of the medium machine guns, but you want to still have that sort of, machine gunner-like feel to it, the LSAT's your best bet when it comes to versatility in that aspect. But if you want to just use a gun for its great recoil pattern and other such things, I would recommend going for the RPK. And for the last step, I'm going to talk about the the machine gunner loadout, which will consist of the any 200 round LMG or medium machine gun, aside from the Type 88, because the Type 88 is really bad. And what you plan to do is just suppress everybody. Get on your bipod, get into a power position, just suppress everybody. For both the assault rifle / moving class and the LMG class, I recommend claymores or your XM25 airburst and an ammo crate. Okay, so just to finish things off without a title, I'm going to talk about the setup known as, or go over some tips, I guess. So, tips with the support class are not to get too runny, too pushy, and always use power positions to your advantage. Snipers are really good at this, but they also have a much bigger magnitude of ranges where they're good. The RPK and other guns like this, as you can see right here, I'm using a power position to hold the line against a bunch of people pushing from a flag. And this is your best way to use the LMGs and to use the support class, is just to pick people off from range, keep them down, make sure your teammates can spawn on you, and just keep shooting. Eventually you will get used to this, and it's not that hard, so there's not many tips for this. Other than that, guys, I'll be seeing you guys later. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll be talking to you all later.